So, we got the English reveal for the new Pokemon that was shown in the debut of the Pokemon Horizons anime and a little bit of details about it. So, I had pretty high confidence that they were going to reveal this at 6 in the morning like we do with our normal news because we don't get Pokemon news on weekends unless Pokemon Day falls on a Saturday or Sunday. And we've kind of seen this happen before with like Pokemon anime or weird like weekend Japanese announcements, but the Pokemon Company has been so frugal with news. I didn't know if we'd see this thing until like the next trailer for the Pokemon Scarlet and Violet DLC. So let's see what we got. A newly discovered Pokemon appears in the hidden treasure of Area Zero for Pokemon Scarlet or Pokemon Violet. Its splendid aura is reminiscent of the legendary Pokemon Terapagos, but this Pokemon's name and true nature are shrouded in mystery. Now, what's weird to me is that we had Nintendo drop the same tweet. Now, we have seen this before where we have like Nintendo backing up Pokemon game reveals and information and stuff, but we don't have any information about this. It was shown in the anime, and then that was it, and we're still not getting any details. So we have what's happening with Lico's pendant. There's even more to discover about this mysterious Pokemon and its connection to Lico's pendant in Pokemon Horizons, the series. So now, kind of like using it as an anime plug, which kind of seems like the idea that we're waiting on DLC. DLC is going to be later this year than it was for Pokemon Sword and Shield. Not really much going on with Pokemon Scarlet and Violet news anyways, so we have this big transition, dropping Ash as the main character, going into a new Pokemon series. Boom, new Pokemon reveal, get excited. But now it has to stay a mystery for however long it needs to stay a mystery because, like, yeah, you can't solve the mystery of the pendant episode 3. So even though this Pokemon was revealed, we're not going to get a ton of information. I am surprised that this actually got an update on the website, because we've also seen where, like, some kind of Pokemon news will happen, and then not even the Pokemon website for that game will update about it. This Pokemon is small in stature and not particularly strong, but when push comes to shove, it can crystallize the energy in its body to form a protective shield. Apparently, it can also assume a dormant state when it feels that its life is in danger by pulling its head and limbs and tail into its shell, making itself look like a jewel. Okay, where's that information? So that's the Pokemon? If it's supposed to look like a jewel in a dormant state, like that, it's not, that's weird. I guess you can kind of like pull that from what happened in the anime, but you wouldn't just be like, yes, that is the Pokemon state. You know, it almost seems like a strange kind of Pokeball, or we have seen like Pokemon reside in artifacts or some kind of device before, but with this, it's like, no, that is the Pokemon. So without it being like hard confirmed, it would be something that you wouldn't really think. So yeah, it's just a jewel. And then its splendid aura is reminiscent of Terapagos. And now people immediately thought this with the Pokemon anime reveal, that they were just like, it only looks like Terapagos. We don't know if it's the pre-evolution yet. Now, Game Freak does pull those shenanigans. It's just really stupid to think this isn't going to be Terapagos' pre-evolution, especially because then it ties everything together. That we saw Terapagos, it's like the secrets of terrestrialization and Pokemon type shenanigans. And this was in the book, and this was before all the DLC announcements and stuff. But, okay, where's the third legendary? It doesn't really make any sense or have stuff like that. However, now we can, like, tie this together a bit more, you know, because we do have the entry in the book. A disc Pokemon? While separated from the research team in the crater's depths, I found a strange entity. Whether it was a Pokemon or even alive at all, I know not. It bore a shell with layers of overlapping hexagons and gleaming brighter than a moonstone. Viewed as a whole, it resembled a mysterious, brilliant disc. And next to Terapagos, there's a lot of similarities, and then next to this pre-evolution, there's a lot of similarities. So it's one of like those weird things, like I don't see the point in doing the reveal like this and kind of like spacing it out and not really having too much information. We kind of already had that with Walking Wake, but now it's just kind of like too cheeky, and that's the problem with Generation 9 designs. They're awful because it's all about like subversion of expectation and, you know, just making people think something different and rug pulling them about how the Pokemon is or their design or its reveal or something. That isn't good design to begin with, and it gets even worse when it's spammed over an entire generation. It's not fresh or creative to leave out the third legendary Pokemon or not have a third legendary Pokemon in a Pokemon generation and then play all of these games with it and all these games with other things around how the Pokemon interact. Game Freak listened to the idiots too much, or like, it's just the same thing over and over again, and that's boring. No, Generation 7 had the best Pokemon designs of an overall generation because it was just honest, and they had a good amount of reveals and incredible hype for the new Pokemon game, and that elevates everything. This is just annoying. And again, just like really too on the nose, where it's like, I wonder if this is the terrestrialization Pokemon. It has the symbol and it has all the types. So it's just like, yeah, but there's no reward. There's no like, aha, I knew it. I figured this out for myself, when it's so obvious and so on the nose, but then just not actually stated until it's like confirmed out like after the reveal, instead of like building up hype with like, yeah, this is what's going on. Isn't that cool? And there are some design elements to note that's like, okay, that's at least slightly interesting, to where it goes quadrilaterals into pentagons into hexagons. It's like, okay, that kind of ties the entire theming together. And we can see that like the final evolution is bigger Terapagos. So it actually just kind of looks like natural Pokemon stage progression, but doing that with legendary Pokemon again. That's kind of a thing. Also like Cyclizar and Koraidon, and it's like, oh, but that's like Paradox Koraidon potentially, and legendary Pokemon and pre-evolutions. Like, I think just make it normal and honest. That just like is way better Pokemon design. And then whatever's going on with this crystal disc shield thing, it just kind of seems like hopefully this isn't a part of the Pokemon's design. It's actually it's just kind of a representation of the barrier that we see with this thing, and then maybe that kind of ties it all together. So it's like, all right, cool. So at least there's a chance this thing isn't going to look awful, because it's really weird that they're kind of like obscuring the main third legendary Pokemon, but also at the same time trying to like one-up Eternatus lore with like how giant the Pokemon is or something and its representations. And now I guess we just kind of wait until we get more information or the full reveals, and however that goes. May trailer for DLC, I don't know. June trailer more likely. How many trailers do we get about the DLC before the release of the game? Who even knows? Are we going to get a trailer for just the teal mask, and then we're going to get an Indigo disc trailer later? Is it going to be both together like we saw with the Pokemon Sword and Shield DLC? How much are we going to see? Are there going to be new Pokemon that aren't just all legendary Pokemon? Then yeah, I guess like the Pokemon that are coming back, the returning Pokemon, those could get shown in trailer. That's pretty cool, except that's already been leaked through like Pokemon Home data mining or something. So there we go, guys. That is the news with a new Pokemon reveal. I'm more interested in like breaking down the context of what this means for like Pokemon reveals in general, because normally April means nothing. We're waiting for like some god tier, never gonna happen Koro thing that's like, yeah, actually we got exclusive information about the upcoming Pokemon game. There's a new generation coming out. We're praying. We're thinking like, yo, this is the time they give us the April trailer, hype starts sooner, and just goes nonstop. That doesn't happen either, and then we're ghosted. You know, you get the Pokemon Direct, Pokemon Presents in late February. March holds over a little bit of that hype as you like speculate. Then no information March, no information April. Usually no information in May, but sometimes you actually get like the good May trailers. And now we just have like a random April drop that's like, here you go. And what this means for like DLC and next things going on, I don't know. So it's April Pokemon news that never happens like this, but it's also obscured and underwhelming. So that's kind of weird. Hope you guys enjoy the video. Hope you all have a nice day. Thank you very much for watching.